for a week. And we'd like to start this meeting out by kind of going around the table. We'll head that way and introducing everybody to you. But this is going to be your time to sort of talk about your project and what you'd like to see happen in the shop.
Thank you.
Yes.
Walt,
Hi.
C.
Sarah, Cash App Team.
Ayla, Communications Manager.
Kristen, coworker.
Nick from the tech.
Katie, constant botherer and sender of emails. Nice to have you.
Good to see you again.
I'm Keely, I'm the marketing intern.
Hi, nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you. I'm Taryn, I'm the graphic designer.
Good to meet you too.
Hi, I'm Gabe. Hop shop.
Thanks everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. Can't thank you enough. This is really like a big deal for me. I was so nervous yesterday. I can't tell you. Yeah, I think with glassblowing not being my first mode of working, I always get really nervous and don't feel worthy of being around glassblowers. I'm not worthy. Because I really am not very good at it. But thank you, it's going to be fun. So I have a couple of projects in my head and going on. If you've worked with me at Piltsack over the last 5 years, I make a lot of cylinders. And I started out making the cylinders to open them up, which I'm still doing. And they're becoming these panels. And they're going to eventually all hang together in like a configuration. But while I was making them, I started falling in love with the cylinder itself. And so I was saving some of the better ones just to remain cylinders. And I'd like to finish out that project. And the idea is that the cylinders sort of live together. They're probably going to have be on a table with maybe lights or video projections in them. And they're very much, for me, about sky and the space of living out here in the Northwest. And that's really affected my sort of perception moving up north, and just the beautiful skies and the shades of blue and the way the sky like sort of is like a watercolor on certain days. So that's where we're going to be. That's sort of like the production part of my residency. I drew out all the cylinders I would like for this large grouping. So if we knock those out, or most of them, I'd be really thrilled. There's another set of cylinders going on that I've been working on these pieces, and I have a couple of these colors of red, yellow, blue, green, and blue. And these pieces are going to be more with like drawings on them. You can look at this. I should pass this around. And these pieces are going to be interactive in that like there's push buttons on them and touch sensors, so that you might push something and then a LED heart lights up, or a flower lights up. And I can see us making like maybe some frigger flowers for this, or maybe some little swans, or flowers that I can then also glue on. So these are like really whimsical little things. We might also put some tungsten drill holes in a couple of spots when we're making these colors, so they don't have to drill later, and that's where the wires will go in and out. And I kind of know where they need to go. So I have some drawings for that. I'd like to try out this form. A lot of my work is interactive, where really just some kind of sensor sets off a sound, or you get to push something and light something up. And so this is, it was funny, I was just telling Ben, I was reading this book about algorithms a few years back, and I was making these pieces at the same time. I didn't kind of realize this, and then I found this picture. So these are clay pieces. So I made a whole series of clay horns, but never quite like this. And I'd like to try some of this stuff. And then I have some larger drawings of these white forms that sort of are like a bulbous body and then a long sort of like swan neck that we might try as well. And that's pretty much my goal. I brought a lot of color with me. I have a lot of powders. I brought everything I like in my closet from years back. So we had tons of color to play with, powders, all different like little color chips. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. And I think today we're going to start off with
Cylinders?
Cylinders, yeah.
Pretty good place to start.
Yeah. So, and then maybe we'll even do some cake plates to hold a cylinder or two, but that's like later in the week. These are more like I have bigger drawings of these two, these like sort of swan neck pieces, and so protrusions and transparencies. And with the blues today, we're going to try to do like a blow-through watercolor wash. And it can be of varying heights. If it goes short, that's fine. If it goes long, that's fine. If it ends up being light the whole way, that's okay too. So it's good to mix them up that way. Yeah. Anybody have any questions for me? No. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Cool.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And just so everybody in here knows too, Saturday is the memorial for Joe B. And finally got it to work out that Jess Hogan's gonna bring a bunch of Hilltop kids down here
Oh, cool.
at noon.
Oh, good.
And